Louisiana beer reviews, DAB. Since 1868, Dortmunder Actien-Brauerei. From Western Germany, this is the Dortmunder Maibock, or Maibock, related to the month of May. So this is a bright Bock German strong beer, 7% alcohol. I'm surprised they let it come through the U.S. market with strong on there. Usually that's not allowed. It's in different languages. Strong beer, beer fort, birra doppio malto, cerveza doppel malta, 500 milliliters. Brewed and canned by the company I said, Dortmunder Actien-Brauerei, Dortmund, Germany. Water, barley malt, hops, and hop extract. Now I've been seeing for years, like going back 10 years, Canadians were getting these 500 milliliter cans, and I was always commenting, I wish we could get this beer over here in the United States. But it showed up this month, October, at Total Wine & More. It was $2.79 for this can, so I bought it. And it's got a good date on it. Extremely fresh. Alright, so I've never had it. I'm curious to try it. And I'm at Total Wine. This past time, I was checking dates, believe me, because I've made mistakes in the past where I neglected to check the date and I get home and all the stuff's out of date by months. But this is fresh. They were all fresh this time, so that's good. That's a good sign. Alright. Beer Advocate says it's okay, a 79 out of 100. It's kind of chilly and windy out here, so sorry for the wind. It's a cloudless, sunny day, morning, dry air. Got that north wind coming in. All right, so it's a slightly off-white head, very foamy. There's a lot of sediment in this, mostly clear, golden appearance, but there's a lot of fine, powdery sediment for sure throughout this whole beer. And some of those white chunks are not that small. So it's not as filtered as I would have expected it to be. Beer Advocate saying a 79. It's okay. Rate Beer saying no, it's horrible. They give it a 12 out of 100 and a 10 out of 100 in the style, Helles Bock. And although the Spanish is saying Doppelbock, I guess strong beer. I guess it's a Doppelbock. Then Untapped's giving it a 65, which would be like a 75 on Beer Advocate. So they're not too thrilled with it. I don't know what the video reviews are going to say. I found about 10 video reviews. I haven't watched any yet, and I don't want to be influenced by it. I do intend to watch them. All right, here we go. First time ever trying it. I like their regular export lager, the Dortmunder Export. I've never tried the Dortmunder Pills. There's one called D Pills, which used to be called Diet Pills, but they just changed it to D Pills, D-Pills, a low-calorie version. It smells very yeasty and kind of sour, like sourdough bread. A strong yeasty barley note, maybe like that neighboring country's Elephant, which is 7.2 for the U.S. market, something like that, which used to be called, the old bottles I used to get said Carlsberg Elephant malt liquor. All right, let's go with these would be malt liquors in the United States, but in the U.S. they use adjunct filler like corn or rice, usually corn products like corn flakes or corn grits or brewer syrup, corn syrup. But here, this is the Reinheitsgebot, the German purity law. Water, corn, hops, and yeast. Nothing else. All right, taste time. Cheers. (1868) Dortmund, part of the Kingdom of Prussia, which was the lead state in the North German Confederation, which in 1871 was formed and declared as the German Empire. With William I as the German Emperor. Okay, I think it's in a state now called Rhine-Westphalia, because after the Second World War, the Kingdom of Prussia, or the State of Prussia as it was known then, because they had a governor instead of a king, was broken up into new states because they thought Prussia was a troublemaker. You know, they were like leading Germany to get in these foreign wars, so the Allies broke it up. All right, nice lacing on here. Really heavy lacing, look at that. There's a strong barley note. I call it a barley burn. A lot of Americans won't like this because they're going to say it's strong, it burns. It's not bitter. Like, the bitterness is low, like 2 out of 5 hop cones. You can pick up a little noble hop there, you know, grassy hop, but it's low. The sweetness is relatively high. Let's go with 3.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. The body is medium. There's a little oiliness in the mouthfeel, and it has a dry finish. So you get like I'm trying to think of a 7%. Yeah, like Old English 800 brand malt liquor on the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington State. It'll be at 7%, or is it 7.5? That would be like the American version of a Maibock type of beer, or Helles Doppelbock. But they use corn syrup, so it's not going to have that barley burn. It's going to be softer, or if you're from Europe, you might say, no, you mean it's blander. It's more bland. Well, maybe. Now, I have a relative by marriage. She married my uncle. She's from Germany, from Schleswig-Holstein, and she said, that's a state that borders Denmark, was under the rule of Denmark at one time, but they had a war with Denmark. That was 1864. But anyway, she said she used to like these strong German beers, strong German lagers, and as she just drank them regularly over there. And then when she moved here, her and my uncle, she said when they would go out in New Orleans to like Coup de Browns or Carrollton Station or one of those places, they would get King Cobra, because they said back then you could get it on draft, King Cobra malt liquor on draft, and they would buy that. And she said the reason they bought King Cobra, which is only 6%, is because she said in her opinion it tasted the most similar to the German bright box that she was drinking there. That's just her. She could care less about brands. She couldn't care less about brands, honestly. She cared about drinking, okay, but which she gave up. But you know, who makes it? Oh, they got bought out. Means nothing to her. Believe me. But that was her opinion. The bitterness level as it warms is coming up. Definitely coming up. It's actually going up to a 3. It was 2, and now it's up to a 3. So it does become more, the hop bitterness comes out as it warms. Not that you would ever want to drink this warm. I had it in the freezer for about, 10 minutes. Had it in the fridge for days. But I couldn't imagine drinking it at room temperature unless it was, wintertime and I didn't have the furnace on. I think 45 degrees would be a nice temperature for this, or colder. 45 or colder. It's very pleasant. They do a great job. I don't understand this business about a 12. out of 100 on rate beer. I don't understand really a 79. It's not just okay. It's really wonderful. It rivals the Dortmunder Export. That one tends to be a little chewier in some ways, although I think it's lower ABV. I know it is. The only American one that I know of that's common, well, was common if I would travel to the Chicago area 15 years ago or so, was the Special Export. It was from Heilemann. It was Heilemann's Special Export. They had cans, bottles, but I would get the cans because you could get a 6-pack for $2.99. And then they had a light version, Special Export Light, which I never bought because you had to buy like 12-pack or whatever. I didn't really want to invest that much in a light beer. I'm sure it was nice, but that was developed at for a picnic, Heilemann picnic, I think in 1934. The owners were Germanic in their background, and he wanted to make a special beer for this company picnic one year in the spring, I think. And so he made this a style that his family remembered from back in the old country, and they made this Special Export style beer. Well, the people liked it so much, they decided they would make it as a regular product, which I think is still produced, but try finding it, you know. Maybe in Milwaukee, maybe Racine, Wisconsin, Kenosha, maybe Evanston in Chicago, around there, but otherwise, I think I found it in Cicero, which is southwest Chicago suburb. Otherwise, you're probably never going to see it. It kind of tastes like this, but softer, you know, because of the corn addition. And it had no stated ABV, but it seemed like it tasted like it was around 6.5. I think this is great. I'm going to go with 94 out of 100. 9.4 out of 10. 9.4 out of 10. Les Bon Temps Roulé, a most excellent beer. This is not an American brewed German style beer. This is brewed in Germany. I can't imagine I got it so fresh. They must have literally unloaded it off the ship in New Orleans, sent it to Total Wine, and I bought it later that morning. So, because you know, of course, they unload overnight, 24 hours a day, and they unload stuff 2 in the morning. And you get it. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna end this review by saying y'all go to Germany and take a DAB brewery tour and then try their 9.4 out of 10 fabulous Maibock. Maybe. Is it Maibock or Maibock? I'm thinking May, like May, M-A-Y, Maibock.